there's those Oblivion gates. How many are there in Oblivion? How many are there? Like 6? 16?
I think out of Persona 4 and 5, 3 stories the strongest.
I'm going to put on my tinfoil hat. I'm going to say Metroid Prime 4 is going to come out with the new Switch. It's going to be a launch title.
Starfield, I feel like pulls more so from Daggerfall.
Speaking of series where people have only ever played games 3, 4, and 5, The Elder Scrolls, everyone. Hey everyone, welcome to Game Boys to Game Men, the podcast. I am Joe, and I don't know if you guys knew this, but I used to be a podcaster like you guys until I took an arrow to the knee.
What's up, everyone? My name is Raj. Welcome to be back.
Hey guys, it's Fresh. I'm back, back at you all. Sorry.
Back at y'all!
Hi everyone, I'm Blake, and it's wonderful for you to be listening and or watching to us.
I'm Danny. I like sweet rolls.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Can I just ride a dragon?
I hope you got
Speaking
your
of dragons,
Oh, we'll get to that.
we'll get to that in a second.
Coming right up. But first, a word from our sponsor.
That's right, we got sponsors. Raid Shadow Legends.
Ridge Wallet.
Immediately.
NordVPN.
Squarespace.
Our sponsors: fatigue, depression, and just tiredness.
Brought to you by alcohol.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
I love it.
So the Elder Scrolls guys. Today's episode.
Before
we're
that!
talking... Oh god.
the foot jump. Just a structure. Sorry about the audio on that one, Blake.
You're good. You're good. Mute.
Before we get to the main topic, Joe, well, I thought we'd always start with, what we've been playing since we last spoke. If anything new, anything exciting in the world of video games we have to talk about.
Of
Man,
course.
I have really gotten into Liza P.
Ah,
Because I only played a couple hours of it at first, and now I'm like maybe 10 or 12 hours in, and man, I really like this game, and it really is a copy of Bloodborne. Like, everything feels like I'm playing Bloodborne, but just as, Pinocchio. But dang, it's really good and fun. I really like the story, where it's going. I think it's a little different, and that's what I've been doing.
what kind of build are you playing as? Like strength or a little more speedy?
Complete strength.
Hell yeah.
I'm murking everyone, and we can get away with it too. I've noticed though the stamina, like, man, it is hard to get your stamina back. Like, that thing like refills so slow, and like once you're
Yeah.
out, you're just kind of like, it's just, that's the only thing I have. But I there's like a accessory I have now that like refills the stamina meter faster, but. That's the only thing that now I'm trying to put more into my stamina, but total strength build, all into that and technique. Yeah, that's all I'm doing.
Awesome. Fucking
Nice.
love Liza P. I was on my third run of that, but I figured I need to give other games some time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been playing God of War 2018. I'm moving slow with that thing, but I'm loving every minute of it. The story has really picked up for me now. I just, spoiler alert, I just killed one of the brothers. Can't remember, one of Odin's
Modi?
sons. Was he
Oh, Magni. Yeah, that's the first one that does, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know where that is in the story. Is that like halfway through or?
It's like
a little-
half-ish. Yeah.
Okay, I figured
you're-
yeah, the amount of hours.
40 to
You're
50%,
getting there.
I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, it's good. I'm really loving this game. Like it's great. The relationship between like Kratos and Atreus is like really blossoming, I think. And I like the little things that Atreus is like tossing at Kratos, like, okay, I know. All right, yeah, I'll go read this. You know, like it just like I told you so. You were gonna say it. I told you so. You know, stuff like that.
Whatever.
Found out who the
Typical
witch
kid
is.
stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So it's been really, really fun. And then been playing a little bit more Baldur's Gate 3. So
Awesome.
Nice.
another awesome game.
Another game of the year,
Mm-hmm.
as it
Yes.
were.
Yeah, I played a little bit of Fortnite, and I only did it because they finally released Solid Snake as part of the Battle Pass.
I was about to say, are you 12? Are you in middle school, Daniel?
Up in here, but I had V-Bucks from I don't know how long ago, like when I maybe first tried the game. It was just sitting there. I didn't use it for anything, and I saw Snake came around. I was like, you know what? Why not? I'll give it a shot. And I also found out they had a no build mode or a zero build mode, so you don't have to spend your time making structures and stuff, which that's like a whole can of worms I don't feel like opening. So it's just like a normal battle royale basically, and I was like, cool. So I got Snake and I played him I got to play him once, as actually earlier today, because when I did it on Friday, I unlocked him and Crystal was like, we have to go to bed. I'm like, are you serious? I literally just unlocked
just got
Snake,
Snake.
not letting you play as him. And I'm like, it's ruined. You fine, go to bed, I guess. But no, I played him earlier today. I only played one match, and I came in 6th place, which that's probably as close as I've ever gotten to that in a battle royale game, maybe. So I was like, hey, that's cool. Other than that, haven't played really any games. Been watching Twin Peaks again. That's been wonderful. And then I got to work a little more on my screenplay, and that was about it.
Nice.
I'm gonna read that soon. I promise. I swear to God. I swear to God, I'm gonna do it, Daniel.
I sent you a Google Doc.
You just have to remind me.
Look at
Just
what I'm doing.
keep
Yeah.
texting me. I have to remind me. I'm terrible at reading in general, so you just have to remind
That's
me.
okay.
Pester
I
me.
actually made it easier and
do
just
it.
sent you a Google Doc invite, so you can just pull it up whenever, and you'll see
Good.
where it's at. So
No excuses.
Nice.
Also, guys, this is a historical moment in this podcast. It's to my understanding that Mr. Fresh has been playing a video game this week, and I want him to talk about this particular game because I want to hear more about this weird fucking game.
yes,
So I've put about 30 hours into Pal World now, or as I like to call it, Pokemon. It is if you're on the internet, you basically know what this is right now. It's an open world, essentially Pokemon clone, but it's better in a lot of ways to the last couple, at least in my opinion, last couple Pokemon not episodes, last couple video games that came out. Yeah, generations that came out. It's basically everything that a lot of us that grew up with Gen 1, Gen 2 have basically thought about, and now it's in video game form. The open world, pals everywhere that you can run around and basically collect, and then they just build stuff for you. So it's like a base builder adventure game, and ironically it has guns in it. just because
They had to have the
they just had to have them.
The hook.
But yeah, they just had to have the hook for the American audience. So yeah, I've put about 30 hours into it. I basically just been like running around exploring the world. The world is huge. Yeah, the intro is a little jank. It feels sort of like like a mobile video game. Like, hey, like go collect like 5 of this, and like open up your inventory and select a tab. Oh, you unlocked an objective. Okay, but like once you get past that, the world opens up to where you can like run around. You have the pal spheres, go around, collect a bunch of stuff. It's this game has a lot of potential, and the fact that it's in early access and the amount of people that have bought it is insane. Like I think it's close to like what 10. It's like 10 million confirmed sales now, right?
Yeah, it was like 7 million in like a few days. It was nuts. It was
And that's like just that. And that's on Steam only. That's not including Game Pass players.
Oh yeah, there's probably a ton more.
Yeah, so I'm like this. There's clearly a market for this, and I really hope Nintendo takes notes of what they're doing with this. What this small indie studio has done, and what they can implement in their next game, because there was a clear niche that people have spoken with their wallets are willing to pay for, and it's all uphill. The game's the game's a little buggy. It's playable. They plan on adding a lot more to it. They clearly have the funds to do it now, so hopefully they work on like stability before they try to add any more on top. But yeah, this is definitely going to be a game to play for a long time, because it's basically Pokemon meets Fortnite meets Breath of the Wild.
Can't be any fucking buggier than Scarlet and Violet, so it has to be better shape.
Oh my god,
than that.
like looking at like side by side comparisons of like Scarlet and Violet to Pal World, it's like Pokemon is clearly like the we have Pokemon at home game. like they're just like getting trounced by this indie studio.
Pokemon is now we have Pal World at home.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. It's like, I would like Pal World. Well, we have Pal World at home.
And it's fucking Violet.
Yeah.
God, that game fucking sucked. And I think it's a. Oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, okay. Yeah, I encourage you guys to like check it out if you haven't. Yeah, it's a paid game. I think it's like $30 or something like that. Which is, for an early access game, that's kind of pricey. That's basically like full price for a lot of like AA studio games. But for the amount of content that's in it and what you can do, and the fact that you can just start a world and like invite like 4 or 5 people into it, and you can guys go and adventure together basically effortlessly. It's definitely one of those games that encourages like partying up. I really hope Pokemon implements that in their next game, where you just like, hey, open world, you can go out, see the Pokemon, you can catch them. I get the whole like the whole turn-based turn-based game mechanics for Pokemon, but they basically have been the same since Gen 1. Not a whole lot's changed. They've added like a few bells and whistles on top, but like the fundamental Pokemon battle has been the same since like 1997.
Arceus was the first one to really kind of change it up.
Arceus was incredible, and I wish they would take more from that than they did with Scarlet and Violet.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, like Arceus is like the game that they should have made like 10 years ago, and finally made like in 2022. And now they should be on something more like Pal World. Like by this point, that's. I mean, I guess it's slow but steady, and I mean they're the fucking most profitable game media franchise in the whole fucking world.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter to them, and that's the problem. Is that and I think that's going to tie into the studio we're going to be talking about a little bit later.
Yeah.
They have fans who will get their shit no matter what, so they don't have to try as hard to evolve, so to speak, as, you know, other studios who have more, you know, basically, you know, less to lose. You know, they're
Competition. There's no
scrappier and they have more to
competition.
prove. Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
They've rested on their laurels for a very long time, and Danny, there's been no competition in that space, no real competition in that space.
Digimon?
Persona 5.
They tried.
They tried. They really did. They tried, but like that's, you know, they just couldn't catch the lightning in the bottle that Pokemon was.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, our generation, you know, we grew up, you know, playing Pokemon, you know, from Gen 1. Um, we clearly are speaking with our wallets. I would really like to know the demographics of this game, if it skews more older for those sales, because that definitely would signal to me that, you know, all of us are more matured with
Mm-hmm.
how we want our games to be. Now
They need guns. They need tits.
Yeah.
They need swearing.
Yeah,
They need
it's just
fucking.
just GTA with Pokemon. But no, like seriously, like the next, I really do hope they take notes on this, like, you know, with the whole open world aspect, with the battle mechanics, being able to, you know, like, you know, physically run across the map, real time, you know, get into a fight, and like, you know, go fight the Elite Four if you wanted, like with like some like starter Pokemon or something, you know, like something just like completely asinine that you wouldn't necessarily need to do, but like I don't know, I feel like I'm just rambling right now, but the
Mm-hmm.
you know, the moral of the story is like there's a niche this game is filling, and I couldn't be happier.
I'm happy for you. I watched the Donkey's video on it, and I need to ask, because he has a tendency, I love him so much, but he has a tendency to like frame a game in like the worst possible way.
Mhm.
Is that game like in the first few hours like literally almost all crafting and shit? Because that's the
Yes.
way. Okay,
Yes.
that
So,
would be
but
rough to
like,
get through.
yeah, so the first few hours you're gonna be running around, uh, like collecting resources.
Hmm.
There's way like it it doesn't have to be that way. Like you can immediately like run out if you know what you're looking for. Certain pals have abilities that will drop like higher tier like resources. Like there's a pal that will literally just drop pal spheres if you have the ranch unlocked, which is I think you unlock that like level 5 or something. It's something like really early game. So if you know what you're looking for, there's ways around stuff like that. But yeah, but you know, just starting out, you're going to be doing a lot of like resource gathering, building up your base, getting, you know, like higher tier tech to go out and fight higher tier monsters essentially. Like you can get to the point where you don't even necessarily need pals to like fight things. Like you can just, if you want to just go guns blazing into a fight and just kill everything, you can do, you can literally just do that, which which I think is really funny.
So I have a question for you,
yeah.
Frash.
Sure.
How many people can you play with online? Do you know?
I played in a world of 4. I believe I believe the 4 is the max server right now. I could be
Okay.
wrong. I noticed that it kind of it was a little laggy, but I mean, early access game. So but they that would be really cool if like if you could play with like, 24 people, like have a like or like have like factions, like, because I mean the world's big enough, like it's huge. I think that'd be kind of cool if you could like have like a guild. You could have guilds in Pal World, so it's like one guild versus like another guild that's like on the opposite side of the map or something. They really have something going here that has a lot of leg room to grow. So
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
I really want to get it. The only problem is I know, like I have a PC I can play it on. I'm not sure how well it runs on a Steam Deck though, which is what I would be playing because Crystal has a Steam Deck. She doesn't have a PC, so
don't
I'd like
do you
to see
have
how it runs on there.
do you have Game Pass?
No, I do not. Not yet, at the moment.
Okay. No, I mean, since it's on Game Pass, and doesn't Steam Deck support Xbox Game Pass? Like, isn't there an app for it?
Not officially. You kind of have to do some tinkering to get it to work. It does work, but it has to be streaming. You can't play it natively. It's a bit of the pain in the ass. So I mostly do most of my Game Pass and just on my gaming laptop. So
Gotcha.
versus I do in the deck sometimes, but it's better to just do it there.
Okay. I guess next best thing would be like go over to somebody's house, check it out. Danny, if you ever want to come over, you're like 10 minutes away from me, so you can come over and try it out for it.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot. Yeah, because
want
like I think my PC will run
play.
it fine. I know my PC is not completely up to date, but I might be able to. It might run on there, but it's the Steam Deck because I'd like to play with Crystal, but again, it'd be only running on the Steam Deck, and that game that system is kind of weird when it comes to certain games and how like it controls and stuff like that. So
okay,
that's what's.
I know. I have a third generation Ryzen processor and a 1660 Ti. That's what I've been rocking for the last couple of years, and it runs just fine. It runs just fine on high settings for me. So, it might work on Steam Deck just fine. On like lower settings. That's the only thing I really think of.
Okay. I will give it a look.
But yeah, Pal World is great. If you have a chance to try it out, please do.
I'm not playing it currently. I'll get to what I'm playing currently. But there was also a really good Pokemon clone that came out last year called Cassette Beasts that I think was kind of underrated. And I won't go into it too much. I didn't get to play as much of it as I would have liked to. I definitely want to go back and check it out more. But the cool thing about it is how it takes the elemental properties and makes them a whole lot more interesting. So it's like you'll be going up against like an ice enemy, right? And you'll be like, okay, I'm going to use my fire guy. And so you use fire on them, but then they turn to water. And so now they're strong against you now at this point. So it has like a really cool, really neat, more dynamic system like that. So yeah, I only got to play a few hours of it, because last year was so fucking stacked overall. But it's definitely a game I've been wanting to go back to as well. And that's also on Game Pass. So if any of you guys ever get a chance to check that out, if you're looking for, again, an actually good example of an indie Pokemon game, indie Pokemon-like, that's definitely one to keep an eye out for too, Cassette Beasts. But for what I'm playing right now, won't talk about it too much. I just finished The Last of Us 2. And definitely, found the same feelings I had on it last time, mostly positive, some negative, but we talked about that enough. The big one I've been playing, though, is Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown.
Yeah.
And I got to say, it's a really, really solid game. Obviously, I'm always a little skeptical with Ubisoft because, they have a reputation, with microtransactions and just like bloating their games to the point of no return. And I won't lie, I'm sensing a little bit of that in this game, just to sad. Like, I'm like 10 hours in, and I do a decent amount of exploring, but the game says I'm only at like 42% completion. And everywhere I'm reading, it's like a 30-hour game, which I know for some people they're like, oh, that's so short. But for a Metroidvania, that's a long fucking time, but overall, it's really well made game in the gameplay department. I'll get to my problems with it though. It has amazing platforming, probably the best combat of any Metroidvania I've ever played. Like it's, there's so many different moves and combos you can pull off. There's like a time traveling mechanic, just like it's a Prince of Persia game, basically. So that's really fucking cool. My main issue with the gameplay though is that its rewards are kind of lacking. Like you'll go through this super punishing gauntlet, like this platforming challenge, and fail a ton of times and get to the end, and the only thing you get is like fucking 20 crystals, which is like the equivalent of getting like $20 in real life nowadays, in the games world, or like a new skin that doesn't actually affect your gameplay stats or anything like that. They didn't do enough to like make the I mean, honestly, a lot of it's like that. The further I'm getting into the game, the rewards are getting a little bit better, now that I'm unlocking more abilities and shit. But yeah, overall it's really good. You could tell just from the trailers. I mean, the art style overall looks pretty good. The character models are kind of weird looking though, like because they're kind of cel shaded but kind of not, so they just kind of look cheap. It's like this weird middle ground. The voice acting is really bad. I mean, I don't give a fuck about a story in a game like this. That doesn't.
I heard the story was kind of lacking in this one.
I don't even know what the fuck's going on. Like I don't. You guys know me. I don't play a lot of games for the story unless it's like a very story focused game. So like a lot of people, if that's something that's like a big deal to you, I'd say you could skip it. But yeah, there's also a few bugs I've come across like in this game, and like there's one that I thought maybe just was like unique to me, but I looked it up and apparently it was bad enough to have its own Reddit thread with a workaround, and the fucking Reddit thread was from like a week ago and they still haven't fixed this. Like it's a weird bug where you talk to an NPC who gives you a quest, but as soon as you're done talking to him, you're just like frozen there. The game's not frozen, but you can't do anything because it's like still in the I'm talking to this guy animation. So the base had to figure it out. So I don't know. I'm concerned Ubisoft's not going to like give too much love to this game post launch, because I have a feeling it's not going to sell that good for some reason, because a lot of people like really hated on it like when it first launched because they really wanted the new 3D Prince of Persia, and a lot of people who I don't agree with are like, oh, I'm not gonna pay $50 for a fucking 2D game. Like, what the fuck is this? What is this? And I'm just like, well, I didn't pay full price for it either. I fucking got it off GameFly, but still, I would have probably paid for it because it's a really fun game that I think is, it's just a really well made Metroidvania. Oh, and I didn't talk about the best part about it. It introduced a quality of life feature that I think all Metroidvanias need from now on, where you can take what I'm talking about. You can take a screenshot of where you are, and that screenshot like stays on the map. So if you like go and go to that icon, because in other games you could always like put icons down, but you don't remember like what the fuck that was for. You just know there was something there. But like now you can like see like, oh, there's a really high platform, so I know I need the double jump here. So when you get the double jump, you can just like look back at your icons and you can see it. And it's just such an awesome change that I'm amazed no one's come up with before. And I'm kind of mad that it was Ubisoft that came up with it, because I hate to give them credit for fucking anything. But you gotta give them credit. It was a really great idea, and I feel like even like Silk Song is gonna have to somehow implement that into their game if they want it to be, as cutting edge as they possibly can. But yeah, overall it's a really solid game. I mean, honestly, if I hadn't got it off GameFly, I probably would have ended up buying it, because it is good enough. It's flaws here and there, like a mass story, but I don't give a fuck about all that. So yeah, definitely recommend it. If you guys can get around to playing it. I'm trying to finish it because Persona 3 is coming out. The remake's coming out this weekend, so I'm super pumped about that. So
that's
hopefully
gonna take
I can
100
get
hours
this
of your
fucking
life
game
away.
out of the way. Yeah, no fucking shit. That shit's gonna be goddamn.
You guys
Well,
play?
It's gonna be like going back to school.
Yeah.
The original, the PSP. I'm sorry, P3 portable. Raj, you played it?
Yeah. That's when I
Mhm.
played it. I beat it through, and I loved it. And I didn't know it was coming out this weekend. Wow.
Yeah, the remake. It looks amazing. I've never played Persona 3 at all. I love
Okay.
4G and 5R specifically. So
I'd
this is
say
going to be a really
3 is the strongest of the bunch. I would say in terms of the story and the setting, like just the themes and dark, like how
Mhm.
dark the storytelling is. It was very good, and like because I played through all of them with the exception of 4 because I'd beaten it. But like right before God of War Ragnarok came out, I blew through 3 and then I blew through 5 Royal, and I would say 3 definitely has the stronger
Is
narrative of the bunch.
is 3 the one where all the characters when they want to do their personas they unalive themselves?
Yeah, the
They
evoker.
fucking...
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
characters are all really
Yeah,
strong.
Claire's
in
play-
there, and yeah.
Yeah, I'm really excited to play it.
Nice.
Cool.
I had P3 for PS2. And
Oh, the FES edition.
The
yeah,
OG.
yeah, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Damn.
I think I borrowed it off somebody and I never gave it back, or this was like back in a long time ago.
Oh,
I remembered I remembered liking it. I obviously never beat it. I played a little bit more of P4. I got kind of far in that game. I don't know, like those type of games that like require like replayability, like to constantly like go back and like do like the branching stories. Like I don't know if it's just like my attention just isn't there, or what.
If you play with a guide, which kind of negates a lot of the things, I feel you can get a lot out of the game in a first run of any of the Persona games, but you have to like know like what the perfect dialogue choices are for like each person, and they're not always what you think they are. You have to like know all the answers to the fucking questions that they ask you. So yeah, it is a game where you either like know that you're gonna miss stuff the first time around, or just go in and cheat and just fucking go in with a answer sheet the whole way so you can experience everything.
That's what I did with 5
That's
Royal
really the only way to do
because
it.
I wanted the true ending, which adds like
too.
another 20 plus hours to the game. So I was like, this is the only thing I really
damn.
cared about was getting that true ending. So I made sure to do
Yeah.
those couple little things.
Yeah.
I played 5 vanilla, just raw dogging it, and so it didn't really matter too much with that one. But yeah, with 5R, I was like, I'm not taking any risks. This is a fucking 120 hour fucking plus game. I'm not going to do this again. I want to fucking know what happens in the true ending.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely. I don't know where 3 goes with its story, if there's a true ending with that or anything. They're going to add, I mean, I'm assuming they are going to add stuff that wasn't in the original version of the game.
They were kind of weird with 3 because they're like each version of the game has something different that they added, and then like for instance with FES, it's got a lot of extra stuff like content, and then with Portable, they added something but took something away. There was some really weird stuff that they did. I can't remember what it was, but I think that might be one of the things they do with Reloaded is add all that extra content so you have it all available to you right from the game.
They may make the game more like Persona 5 also, throwing in some elements, because at least the PSP or the portable version I played was, obviously it's on the damn portable, so it's not going to play like Persona 5 or Persona 4, but I just feel like they could really add a lot of cool things to the game. And I agree with Danny that story was definitely the strongest point. I think out of Persona 4 and 5, 3 stories the strongest. I just hope like the characters that you meet, like I felt close, like I could feel the chemistry between them, but I thought 4 and 5's chemistry was a lot more apparent. You could like really like feel that. But maybe they'll change it with like some dialogue options and stuff. So
I think 4G has the best chemistry with the core cast. Like I think that those ones all like felt like friends. 5, I like most of the characters in 5. They didn't really feel that tight knit to me. Versus like the ones in 4, you were just like always seeing them, hanging out in fun situations. There were fun dynamics between the characters. Where the only thing I can remember about fucking 5 was Morgana being a creep to On all the time. That's the only thing I could tell you about these characters and their interactions with each other. Was Morgana was like
Still wasn't nearly as bad as
On.
Teddy in 4.
Hey man, don't you leave Teddy alone. Teddy at least had some
I don't think
riz.
Teddy.
Morgana
Yeah.
was a fucking creep.
Dude, when you were doing this exams, I fucking hate it every time you go, ooh, you can do this. Like every time you hit the right answer. I'm like, how many times are you going to say this? The most
You can
annoying
do
thing.
this.
You can do this.
Fucking Morgana. Yeah, but don't you slander Teddy again, Danny. I will not say it again. Will
You'll
not.
be exiled.
I have a Teddy plushie actually that I got my wife because 4 is her favorite game. Let's see if I can find it.
I actually have a
Curious.
Morgana plush.
You fucking weirdo.
It came from the collector's edition, you prick.
I know. I know. We have that one too. I got this one blind.
Aw,
Oh, nice.
that's adorable.
Nice.
We had the Morgana too. I don't know where the fuck. I think we threw him out because I fucking hate Morgana so goddamn much.
I had a Junez T-shirt that I got from a convention.
Everything's great at your Junes.
Yeah, but then I ended up like washing it in like hot water on accident, and it shrank, and then I had to get rid of it.
And you had to lose 20 pounds.
Yeah, I was like either get rid of it or like go in like an extreme diet, and getting rid
Going
of
on
it was
keto.
It was easier. Yeah.
Yeah. So, speaking of series where people have only ever played games 3, 4, and 5, the Elder Scrolls, everyone. Remember
Hey.
Elder Scrolls?
Member?
I remember.
Remember how? Yeah.
So,
Remember Han Solo?
I remember.
Elder
remember the
Scrolls-
Fuswada.
Elder Scrolls 6. Is there a date for it?
No.
No. We just got that trailer a couple of years ago that was like just saying, "Hey, it's coming eventually," but no, nothing.
So, like
When they-
stock trees. They're like, oh, there's some trees, forest, there's a sky, maybe.
The
Yeah,
dragons are
mountains.
coming.
So-
The
some
dragons are
mountains.
coming.
That's about it.
That was weak.
Yeah.
So then did they just kind of put all their eggs in some game about stars and fields or something?
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, I never played
yeah.
that game.
Yeah, Starfield.
I have no
was supposed to
feelings
be
on that game.
Oh. Yeah, Starfield was supposed to be like that, like in between game that like got announced, but then like they were kind of like working on Elder Scrolls 6, but they had to like get Starfield out. So I imagine they're like, I don't know how much effort they're actually going to continue to put in the Starfield. I think they kind of feel like the writing is on the wall with that game a little bit, and I really hope it. I hate to say it. I mean, the game. I feel like the game's kind of like on life support right now, and it's probably
Yeah,
gonna,
it
probably
is.
going to stay there. I mean, when you have like major modders come out and say that they're not even going to attempt to like work on the game because like they see no point, I feel like you really have lost the ball on that one. Yeah, so Bethesda, they just need to just full 100% into E6.
So that I agree with you. But I wanted to ask about what do you guys think of like game series? Have you noticed in say I don't know the past 10, 12 years game series just a new game taking a really long time to come out? I don't know if I brought this up before, but like it was how many years in between Fallout 76 and this one, and and Starfield, and if 476 was what Fallout 4, yeah.
Mhm.
So and that was 76 was only supposed to be like a placeholder essentially, right?
Yeah,
Um,
like a full Fallout game.
yeah. So that was what 2014, I think. So I think
15
yeah,
was
it's like
15 was Fallout 4, and
Okay.
18 was 76. And honestly,
Okay.
I frankly don't even know what 76 is or was supposed to be, and at this point, I'm too embarrassed to ask. So,
Yeah.
like,
I
never-
can
I
actually
never
kind of
bothered
talk
trying to
about
play
it. It's an MMO essentially, and originally it was a very
Ah.
barren, buggy, jank MMO because there were no
Yeah.
NPCs really. They basically were like, well, it's a massive multiplayer game, so you're the NPCs. You are the people that
Yeah.
spout the dialogue and the hate speech and all that other fun stuff. But then they hunkered down and they actually added a lot of content to the game to add quest lines and NPCs and all sorts of stuff. I actually played like 10 hours of it with my one buddy around Christmas time, and
Mhm.
it's pretty fun. It's still janky,
Okay.
but it was, especially if you play with a friend, it's way better. Like I could see playing that game, like trying to play that game by yourself and just straight up not having a good time.
Yeah, like the NPC problem that was supposed. They just had like the robots in the world, right?
Correct. Yeah, there's like
Okay.
robots, and that was really it. There was like 0 actual human NPCs.
So in the story of it, like where was Fallout 76 supposed to be like in the extreme early days of everything kind of going to shit?
If I remember, yes. It was I think Fallout 76 was like, technically it sounds like one of the first vaults that they made, and
Okay.
everything goes to shit. It opens
So-
up and what have you.
Okay, so I guess it would kind of like make sense narratively if like there was no NPCs because everyone's dead.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be this boring, guys. It's fun.
I guess it was like really true to life.
You guys should start playing it correctly.
That's good. Right.
Oh,
I guess everyone
Oh,
was just
man.
kind of like going at it with the wrong angle, you know?
Right. But they didn't see the true power, the true vision of Todd Howard. Oh. So, but yeah, if you just like, I mean, I'll use Bethesda just as an example. You know, it's so between Starfield and Fallout 4. I mean, those I don't know. I think it was a long time. You know,
Mhm.
and every time in between, how many freaking versions of Skyrim did we get? Oh my god.
This is like, I'm gonna look that up.
It's a lot, is what I'm.
As far as like,
We don't need to go into
taking
the
a long
full
time,
details of that.
yeah, it's just one of those things where, bigger teams, more technology, it's just going to take longer to make these games. I think it'd be better, like say for certain studios, if they have like almost kind of like what Call of Duty did for a while, where they had one studio work on one game and another studio worked on the other, and they had like 3 to 4 year dev cycles. Obviously that's it's kind of an asterisk next to that because they basically had the same game going for however many years. But for studios that have multiple parties involved, they can have it so maybe you get a game every few years, like, just one really big game per studio, or maybe a few smaller projects per studio or something like that.
Right. I get that. I think it's just the but then you have these studios release games and they're duds, in recent times. Starfield, Modern Warfare 3, Modern Warfare 2, Warzone. I'll use those as examples. Although those are really all online types of things, but shit. Throw in 76, as well, another online thing. And that's the other thing that you can notice is like, a lot of it to help bridge the gap in between these games. It's like a lot of studios are just okay, well, instead of spending 3-4 years on a project, and we could really put some dedication and time into, let's squeeze some extra cash out and do an online service thing. It's like, okay, another online service thing, which is why I'm actually really happy that Naughty Dog did not decide to do that. That they decided to scrap it, despite some people's love for factions.
Yeah.
Which, Danny, I know you really
Well,
were looking forward to that.
I love factions, but if they would have just added it as like a multiplayer game mode, no live service, just the bones of like what they had with The Last of Us and remastered. That's
Right.
all I would have cared about. But yeah, live service, yeah, like you said, glad they axed it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's a fad or anything like that. It's like some boomer in the early 2000s telling their grandkids that the internet was a fad, it was going to go away. Like live service games are they're here.
Yeah.
But it's like, guys, why are you focusing so much? Like, you putting so much focus and extra things into the live service thing, when I know, like, you have teams, or crews working on other games and stuff like that. But why couldn't you really just divert your full attention to these things and actually give people a product that's actually good instead of a piece of shit
That would
that you
require
convince?
effort to like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then you have people pay $70 for. It's like, no, screw you.
Well,
I mean, I think
comes down to
the live service. Go ahead, Joe.
Oh, it comes down to the brass tacks that games cost a lot of money to make now, especially for the newer hardware. Salaries for talent are extremely high.
Well, you don't need to hire the best talent. None of those studios did in the early days. Now when you get names like, I understand, but now when you get names like what's his name? Kojima did for
but I mean, it just wasn't
for Death Stranding.
Yeah, it just wasn't him. It just wasn't him though. Like,
no, but I'm using him as an example though.
Sitting at a computer, like, there's so much that goes into game development anymore that they need to figure out some kind of recurring revenue stream to keep paying these people, so they don't, well, one, so they don't leave, two, to also get major blockbuster titles out, like
right. No, I understand. I'm not ignorant to that, but I just feel like there's much more focus on that because it's so easy to get money off of it.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the, I hate to say it again, a lot of these game companies are have a parent company that's publicly traded.
That's true. Yeah, that's a big point.
So
the people at the top don't give a shit as long as the money keeps coming in.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like the dirty part about all of this, and that's why we get, like, Skyrim released 15 times over 10 different consoles, apparently. Oh my god. Like, I didn't realize how extensive this list was, but we have Skyrim for PC, Xbox 360, and PS3 when it came out. Then we have, when Xbox One and PS4 came out, there's versions for those. There's a Nintendo Switch port that I don't know how many people actually bought that.
I played it. I didn't buy it, but I actually
how
borrowed it.
how was
We
that?
bought it.
Did it run like
Fine.
hell?
Yeah, it ran
It's fine.
fine.
It was fine.
Actually.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's an
I
old
just got-
game at this
Yeah.
point, so
Mm-hmm.
it's
Okay.
not like the best looking version of it, but I mean, it's functional.
Functional.
It was
Okay.
honestly,
Like
it was
the
honestly
old
better
gen
than the PS.
versions.
It was better than the PS3 version.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
remember
version
that.
that's the version I had.
That PS3 version was hell. I had my cousin had that version. It was so buggy.
I mean, to be fair, a lot of
fucked
third-party
up.
games on the PS3 were very, very poorly ported.
Ported, yeah.
Well
Then
optimized.
then we had the PC free upgrade for the special edition. The PS5 and Xbox Series X and S edition. Somewhere in there, a VR version came out,
I have
and then
that.
like the meme version, the Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim meme Alexa version came out. So, and people just kept buying it, like, for whatever reason.
You forgot the anniversary edition they released.
Oh yeah, the anniversary edition.
What about the Game of the Year editions? How many of those?
Of the gaudy.
There was that too.
Yeah.
Also, here's a stupid thing that they did for PC with Skyrim. You have, like, apparently the original version, even if you bought it, does not work, I think, on PC anymore, because Crystal tried playing it and it wouldn't let her play it unless she got the special edition or the anniversary edition.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So that's stupid.
Like force you to upgrade.
Mm-hmm. Like, you try to boot up the game and it just won't work.
So, wow.
Damn.
I guess what this is all stemming from is that Bethesda decided to release that Elder Scrolls 6 trailer in 2018. It's been 6 years.
Damn.
6 years. Okay?
I don't think they put one. I don't think they made one level for it. I really don't.
Someone made a
like,
pixel.
I don't
or,
think
like,
so
one
either.
Dungeon.
You don't think so?
So,
Not
I
a
mean, it's
single... No horse armor has been crafted yet. Nothing.
Oh God.
Yeah, they're. It's just the timing is just incredible. You know, it's 6 years have gone by and you haven't given us anything, any news about it. So
Not even a title, like a title to get us interested.
But isn't it supposed to be taking place in Redguard or Hammerfell?
Don't know. Haven't said anything.
There were trees in the trailer, so which place has trees, Joe?
I saw some mountains too. There was mountains, definitely mountains.
A lot of places have trees. A lot of
Middle
places
Earth.
have mountains.
There was some sky. There was a sky box.
Yeah.
In Middle Earth.
So,
When Raja gets back, shall we watch the trailer together?
Yeah.
So we can
What do you think's gonna come out first? Because I remember Metroid Prime 4, that trailer dropped right around the same time, or like a year prior, right?
Year prior, yeah, it was 2017.
I think that.
What do you think? What's coming out first? Prime 4 or Skyrim?
Prime 4
or
Prime
Skyrim
4.
6?
Hat?
I think that
Skyrim 6.
I'm gonna put on my tinfoil hat. I'm gonna say Metroid Prime 4 is gonna come out with the new Switch. It's gonna be a launch title.
That would be sweet.
Yeah,
that'd be nice. Yeah.
They gotta have something,
or they could pull a Breath of the Wild, make it a multi-generational console. Yeah,
that could work.
Yeah, because
I
remember playing Breath of the. Oh, sorry. I remember playing Breath of the Wild 4. Oh yeah, Breath of the Wild, motherfucker. I remember playing Breath of the Wild specifically on the Wii U. That was the last game I bought for the console because I made a promise to myself that I have to play this on this console.
I made a promise to the Wii U.
I made a promise to myself. I was like, I don't care. I'm gonna play this game on the Wii U. It's a promise for the Wii U. I'm gonna play it, and I enjoyed it, even though it ran like hell in cities, or any kind of settlement.
Didn't run great on the Switch either when it launched. So
yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so going back to Elder Scrolls a little bit and like our experiences with it, and I kind of want to talk about like, so when when Starfield was pitched originally, Todd Howard's thing, I think it was him, basically said this is Skyrim in space, and then it comes out in 2023. It essentially is Skyrim in space, and everyone fucking hates it. But you go back, 12 years prior, Skyrim is one of the most popular games of all fucking time. One of the most re-released games of all time. I think it's in the top 10 best-selling games of all time. And if you asked a good number of people what your desert island game would be, I'm sure a good portion of them would still say Skyrim.
Yeah.
Because it is so big, it is so, endless, essentially. So I just want to know, like, what has changed, in those 12 years where, like, this formula worked so well and was so beloved, and now works like fucking shit, and everyone hates it and makes fun of it, because they're not that different. They're essentially the core. It's there. So like,
Yeah.
I'm just really interested in like how it got there.
Yeah,
I'm curious too.
I feel like the game loop itself was kind of old. Even when Skyrim came out, it felt a little dated. It wasn't as bad as Oblivion, but just the whole aspect of go up to NPC, they have like something to say, and then like you see them like interact in the world a little bit. It was nice to see in Skyrim to see them like if they were if there was like a smith or something, like they would be on the grindstone or something, but like when you go up to them and you talk to them, it's like they can tort their body still.
Hey!
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello there, stranger.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. I think. Yeah.
But I mean, hey, at least they didn't like stop time like in Oblivion. Like when you go to like talk to somebody, like everything around them stops.
Oh yeah.
So I mean that led to like some really funny interactions of like you're talking to an NPC or something, and like an enemy comes up and starts attacking.
Yes, you see some shit in the background.
Yeah, or you see
oh,
like
what?
You're talking.
There's a ragdoll.
Yeah, like you're just talking to like some guy out in the field, and just like you just see like a dragon drop down and fight a mud crab.
Yeah, those are some of my favorite moments in Bethesda games, though.
It's just like the wacky shit that happens in the world,
Yeah.
So
I think another part of it.
Yeah, like getting back to like the Starfield issue, it's they haven't innovated. It's the same damn thing, and I think everyone's just kind of tired of it, and it feels very much phoned in, and there's just nothing new.
Also.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I wouldn't be surprised if like somebody literally like just takes like Starfield assets and like puts it into Skyrim and see if it's basically the same thing, just like mod a settlement with like Starfield stuff, and like just do like a side by side comparison of like character interaction.
Nice.
So, good, Blake.
There was this video I was watching. I can't remember by who it was, and he was talking about why Starfield was like being really shitty. I guess part of it was people thought that it's been phoned in, but the other thing too is apparently there's actually a real thing with player attention span, and like every like within 30 seconds. In open world games, within 30 seconds, a player should be able to do something else. Kind of like, ooh, oh, what's that?
Yeah,
going along. Hey, what's that back there? And then with Starfield, it's minutes and minutes that go by, which in real life, that when you're not in a game, that seems like nothing. Unless you're watching water try to boil really on a low heat, So I guess that that was a big issue that people were having with it. People have also noticed like how each of the worlds, it's like they're in like you go onto a planet, instead of it being the full blown planet, it's like spheres. And you stay in one spot, and then you have to with the loading screens and they're like a constant loading screen. So I can only imagine what that game code looks like. I don't want to know what it looks like. It probably looks really bad.
Starfield was fucked from its premise because when it comes to a big thing about the Elder Scrolls games, and it's funny enough that you mentioned Oblivion's problems. Oblivion's actually the one that's nearest and dearest to my heart. It's the only one I've ever actually finished all the way. I have a lot of things to say about it versus Skyrim, but I'll get back to that. But a thing about like Oblivion and Skyrim is that it is just one big world, and it makes it more fun to explore because of that, because it really does feel like you're traversing a big, cool map with like different terrain, whereas in Starfield, all the different planets really fucked it because none of them are cool in and of themselves. You know, most of them are completely barren, so you don't feel like you're discovering them. You feel like you're going to a specific location
Hmm.
on the planet and just like walking around until you find a cave, find some rocks and leave. Whereas in like Oblivion, so Oblivion has probably in my top 10 most memorable gaming moments of all time. It's the moment after the opening, you know, when it pans and you see the whole city at the beginning and it zooms in.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
And at first I was like, there's no way the game's actually going to be like that. You know, that's just a cool opening. And then you fight through the sewers, you see Patrick Stewart die, the Emperor, and then you go through this really kind of boring section with the tunnels, and then you leave, and then you just see the world in front of you, and
Yeah.
you see like the river, and you see the hills and the mountains and the trees and the ruins, and like all in like one shot. And it's just like it just really just blew my 16-year-old mind when I played that game for the first time.
Yep.
And Starfield could never achieve that just because of its premise alone, because you could never achieve that sense of place and that sense of awe because of what they did. And it just amazes me that, you know, all these years later, you know, Bethesda didn't realize that was what people loved. They didn't love the never-ending cut and paste quests, you know, which Oblivion still had. You know, it still had a ton of quests that were totally forgettable, totally, you know, didn't really have much, but it still had that sense of wonder. And when you lose that, you lose a huge sense of the appeal of an open world game.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's what Bethesda needs to find for their next game, because they can't just rest on their laurels, you know, like Pokemon does, you know.
I feel like Oblivion and, you know, Skyrim, you know, to some extent, like it was more grounded. Like, yeah, you were like in an area, and like, you know, there was like limitations for why you couldn't explore the whole world, because, well, Skyrim, like there's like a mountain chain going all the way around and whatnot. And same with Oblivion. Like, basically, if you go to the edge of the map, you know, it's like except for like the Black Marsh area, there's just like you just see forest and more forest, and like you try to go through it, and like you just, oh, we can't go this far. It's like, okay. But you know, just that the sense of like your mind is more capable of wrapping itself around like a grounded place, like those types of settings, whereas Starfield, it's like, where do you even start?
So just a bunch of different locations. It's just, you know, there's the city that's on this planet, and then there's the, you know, settlement that's on this other one.
Yeah.
It's,
So like, how do you feel like if Starfield's scope wasn't as big as it was, but they had like instead of like like 1,000 planets or whatever, like, you know,
like 4 or 5. I was thinking that's like 4 or 5,
like
good,
fully flushed out, like that you're able to, like, almost like Super Mario Galaxy, like walk completely around. You know, it might take you a little bit, you know, just because, I mean, it's a video game, but like, you know, if you're able to like, or if not, like walk completely around, like hop in a ship and like fully traverse, you know.
Yeah. Like No Man's Sky. I hate to say it. I mean, that game was not good when it first came out, but, you know, it did kind of deliver on that sort of premise in a way that Starfield just couldn't. And no, I totally agree with you, Joe. Like, they should have had either the planets be kind of small, make it so like it's kind of like Earth, where it's like there's like a continent and there's a bunch of water and stuff, you know. But just give us like 4 or 5 really unique planets with like distinct locations, and that could have definitely worked, you know, well, way better than what the fuck they gave us. But yeah, like that's precisely why, you know, like the Elder Scrolls games worked, the Fallout 3 and New Vegas worked, and this just absolutely does not fucking work. Is because you lose that when you do what they did, and they tried to bite off way more than they could chew, and they choked on it.
Yeah, it's too it's too much. It's almost like I don't know if you guys like ever like looked into like Star Citizen, something like that.
That game.
And it's just like you just like do everything. Like I think they kind of like just wanted to do that and see like what stuck. And I feel like a lot of people are turning away because like they just can't get their heads around it, and that's why high fantasy, like you're running around with a sword, resonates with us more, is because it's like that's what we know. That's like that's just what it is. And
there's more of an escapism to it, I feel, because like with something like Starfield, it's like, oh, this could be like our future, and our future fucking sucks. But with like the Elder Scrolls, you're like, oh, this is a whole new world. This is a brand new place for me to explore. And
you're so close. A dazzling place.
Dazzling.
I never knew.
But like, well, also like I feel like with Bethesda's game engine, like, I hate to say it, another thing, like you have a lot of people that like play other types of shooters, and like the gunplay is just like finely tuned and like really fun, like like Destiny or like like Call of Duty or Fortnite. It's like what those...
Cyberpunk.
Yeah, Cyberpunk
gunplay is a lot more fun.
Like the core premise is the gunplay first, and I feel like Starfield was like narrative first.
It's not even a good narrative.
No, not even good narrative.
What is the story? Sorry,
I don't know. I played the game for 30 fucking hours and I don't know the story, Blake. I really don't. Like, it's so weird. I played. I mostly did the equivalent of like the guilds in this one. I think I told you guys this on a previous cast that I played like the space pirate one, and I played the sleazy corporation route.
Oh yeah.
And just neither one of them, stuck with me. And just going back to like Oblivion, like everyone remembers when they did the Dark Brotherhood in Oblivion and Skyrim, just all the shit that went down. I remember it less, but I remember like the arena in Oblivion. I remember the Fighters Guild in I think in Skyrim, was it?
The Thieves Guild, I think.
Was
the big one.
Thieves Guild too.
Yeah.
With Gray Fox, Gray Fox. But no, it was, and I think, were they the best stories? No. I mean, the Dark Brotherhood and Oblivion I thought was actually a really cool and twisty story, but overall, they really weren't. And, and I think what you said before, Joe, about how they haven't, really evolved since Skyrim, and that's the problem. Like, for a while, Skyrim was basically like the model for open world RPGs, for at least a few, like 4 or 5 years, until a couple of games came out that showed that the open world genre can evolve. And I think those 2 games were Witcher 3, which showed that the side quests can be as interesting or more interesting than the main quest, and not just from like giving you a distraction, but giving you a compelling narrative in that, making the side quest feel important. And then the other one was Breath of the Wild, which showed that open world games don't have to just follow any sort of template, and can completely go off and do their own thing. And those 2 games both went on to be so influential to a lot of other games that came out after them. And Bethesda just took no note of that. They were like, no, we're the originators. Our version is good, and we're gonna keep doing that. And instead of doing what good developers do, and taking the lessons from your peers who have surpassed you since. Instead, they stubbornly stuck to what they knew, and it resulted in a game where, again, you could fucking do the, God, I'll never get over it, where you could do the fucking space pirate route, kill all the space cops, and then work for the space cops after. Like, that just, it's so maddening that they didn't put any thought into the way this supposed RPG is supposed to function, because they'll always put quantity over quality, and I think that's what they think people want. I really do. Like, you know, I hate to say it, but like, you know, a lot of people who play stuff like, you know, like Skyrim, they like it because there is so much to do, you know, that it can be like the one game you ever play, you know?
Well,
for sure.
Skyrim has that whole like infinite quest mechanic built into it. Yeah. So I mean, you can literally just keep playing it. Like you can run through everything.
And back in the day, it was cool that I was able to, because Oblivion's actually one of the few games I ever got all the. This is when I still had an Xbox. I got all the trophies for, with the exception of one from the Mages Guild because there was a glitch and it passed over the trophy. But I had all the trophies from one single run, and in retrospect, I'm like, I shouldn't have been able to do all the guilds on one fucking run on one character. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Right.
You know, I shouldn't be able to be a mage while also being a thief or a fighter. You know, it's a weird thing that Bethesda does, where they want you to be able to experience everything in one run, but that's not what an RPG is. You know, you're supposed to. Go ahead, Joe. I'm sorry.
Morrowind was actually a little bit more. You had to like for the factions, like you couldn't be like in the Thieves Guild and also be in like another guild. Like they had crossing paths. Like if you killed somebody, that was severed.
Mm-hmm.
And you couldn't.
Okay.
And you couldn't like progress anymore. Type deal.
Like an actual RPG.
Yeah. And so they kind of got away from that with Oblivion. It's like, okay, well, you know, you just have like this one character and he could do everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
he's an assassin, but he's a thief, but he's a mage, but he's a fighter.
Yeah.
He's a
You're
bitch. Lover.
And that's why you could have like a purely like strength build Nord that hates magic in Skyrim and become the archmage. Because you happen to be able to like cast like a fireball to get into the college.
Right.
Joe, do you remember? Because actually, even Oblivion's the one that I first actually really fell in love with. But you let me borrow Morrowind in like 9th grade, I think. It was like right before Oblivion was gonna come out. Because you're like, you gotta play this, you know. This is
for the original Xbox,
yeah, the original Xbox.
Yeah.
And I fucking hated it because I'm like, why isn't my sword hitting anybody? Why? What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, because it was a literal translation of a tabletop RPG turned to a 3D game. So
which I did not know.
Right. So and once you understood that, it's like, okay, so that's why, like, you know, if my stats are low, my hit chance is going to be low. But it looked weird because it was like, clearly if I have a sword and I'm swinging it and it's not doing anything, like, what's going on here? So it just didn't it didn't translate well to a lot of people that weren't aware of like what was actually going on, because every time you clicked attack, like a dice roll was being made behind the scene. And it was either pass or fail based on the stats, but that wasn't like really translated in actual gameplay. So
it's a game I definitely want to go back and try again.
So
I think it's Morrowind. I only tried it like way back when on the Xbox. Was that one of the games where you chose a race and everything, and it put you in a different like city? You started in a different city or town. Did that happen in Morrowind?
You always started. No. You always started out as a. You always started out on the boat, and as soon as you got off the boat, that's when you picked what race and what everything you were, and every single character started out in this little area called Satanin, and it was like it was like on the path, like kind of like in the middle of the of Vardenfell Island, or Vardenfell. Morrowind is the country that you're in, but the island that you're on is called Vardenfell, which is a little weird.
Okay,
And
because I
yeah. So you start like close to the coast, in this little, essentially just like this outpost, for for the main faction that's in Morrowind, on the road to like the next story objective, essentially. So
Okay, yeah, my
Makes
only
sense.
experience
Yeah.
with that game that I can remember was I got into like a house and there was, I think it was a dark elf child in there and he was being a twat, and so I started attacking him with a spoon, and then he got pissed and he ran away, and then the guards came after me, and I was like,
And none of the
this game
spoon swings hit him.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, like I think one did,
Yeah.
and then that was his cue to say deuces and
to leave.
get the law on me.
Yeah.
That's my only experience with
Yeah,
Morrowind. It
that's
was
great.
way back on the Xbox,
So-
and then Oblivion. I think I tried once on the PS3. I bought it, but I had a bunch of other games I was playing at the moment, so I wasn't really focused on. I think I completed the tutorial. I think I recall seeing like a scary looking gateway with like a giant orange ball of energy, which I think took you somewhere.
The Oblivion
but
Gate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yes.
Oblivion Gate.
Yeah.
And then
The
that
The
was
titular
that was-
gate, Danny.
Okay, well, that's where I got to, and I never got past that, and so
So
You get to
and, like,
experience the worst part of the fucking game.
Yeah, you immediately went to Kvatch, and brought the Oblivion Gates to the world. Okay.
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my extent on those two.
Those Oblivion gates.
Okay.
How many are there in Oblivion? How many are there?
16?
Like 6?
There's 16 of
16?
them, I think. Yeah, and you had to do them all to
Oh.
finish the main quest. It was a nightmare.
I never finished Oblivion, but because oh my god, 16, Jesus.
Yeah,
Whoa.
I think it was 16. I could be
Hold
wrong.
on.
It was
So I
something
just
like
pulled
that.
it up, and it says there are 100 distinct locations where a
Ah.
gate can appear, and as each gate is closed, that particular location will never spawn a new gate without the use of council commands. However, no more than 60 separate gates will appear during a single game, including 10 gates, which will always
60?
open in designated spots. That sounds.
Yep. Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah. So you had the. So Joe, what you were referring to is after you go to Kvatch, and you do the first gate.
Uh-huh.
Outside of
Yeah.
each one of the major cities, a gate will spawn, and you had to close, I think, a certain number of them to progress the story. But if you ended up closing all of them, each city ended up sending some like guardsmen to the last main gate for the end of the game. That was kind of like hey, you
Okay.
helped out the city, so they're gonna help you out type situation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's been literally like over like 15 years since I beat this
Yeah.
game, so
Yeah.
it's been a hot minute.
Still a
but,
lot.
But still, the Oblivion gates were fucking ass. They were so repetitive, and they all looked the same.
Yeah,
God,
it's
goddamn.
they all had like some little quirk to them, but like
Mhm.
as soon as you got to the one door, they're basically all identical. It's up at the
Mhm.
very top. It's just run up, grab the orb, and then
Yeah.
and then leave. Now there was like
Mhm.
some kind of like cheese mechanic that you're able to do with if you dropped a save like right before you picked up the orb, because the rolls on the orb were random.
Yeah.
For like what you would get. So if you're trying to like get like something to infuse with your armor, specifically, you could just reload that save, grab that orb, and see what it is. If you didn't
Mhm.
like it,
Yep.
you could like reload it again. You can just keep doing that until you got what basically you wanted. So
Do you guys think how how uncanny of a resemblance there was for the Oblivion Gates to the Eye of Sauron in Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings trilogy.
You think
That's
it
the
was a
first thing I
coincidence?
noticed. I don't think it was at all.
All right, so like what? Like that
Doubtful.
that came out in
2006.
2006, and Lord of the Rings came out in 2002, right?
2001,
2001
2
2001.
and
One,
through
two,
3.
three.
2003.
Okay, 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
one a year. Okay, so
Mhm.
yeah, it's like you're not
We were
gonna
inspired.
you're not gonna get away with from that. So
It's a fantasy game that's coming out around that same time,
yeah,
for
Yeah.
sure. Gonna be expired a little bit, but yeah,
Oh,
definitely looked a
yeah.
lot like that for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Those Oblivion Gates. God, they sucked. I didn't do all of them, but oof, they sucked.
So Joe, do you think? Because I do know a lot of like the really hardcore Elder Scrolls fans hold up Morrowind as like the best of the Elder Scrolls games. Would you agree with that?
in terms of story and depth,
Hmm.
yes.
Hmm.
Morrowind is not the most approachable, because the story is basically like none of it's voice, just like very very little of it is voice acted.
Hmm.
As like kind of like more modern audiences, more like they're kind of more geared to, um, like, hey, I'm on a ride at Disney World and this character is speaking at me, like like very on rails, like that's why Oblivion is more approachable that way.
Hmm.
Morrowind is like you have a journal. And
Wasn't like with a lot of the quests, they would like tell you like walk down this path until you see
yes,
a tree or something
yeah,
like
there
that.
was no map marker.
That's wild.
You had to go off of context clues of like what they were talking about. Um, and you had to exhaust all the character dialogue options to completely unearth like what you were doing.
Hmm.
Like one of like the main quest line, like early on, like when you get to the city of Balmora in Morrowind, you have to meet up with like your contact, who happens to be like a skooma smoker. This guy's like part of like the Imperial like Legion or something like that. I forget what the main faction is in the game.
Yeah.
But he's like, if you look under his bed, he has like a skooma pipe and like used skooma bottles, which is essentially like the crack of the game.
I'll
And
smoke up.
yeah, basically. And like you have to go clear out like an egg mine, but it's like the details for it's like head south through the gate and along the river you'll come across like uh you'll come across the mine. Where like modern games would be like there's a mine to the there's a like, hey, go clear out this egg mine. I marked it on your map. And you just go to the
Hmm.
quest objective. So it like Morrowind is more so like uh back to it. Morrowind I feel like is more akin to like how Elden Ring is, like how they approach their quests. It's like you don't know where shit is. Like you have to like kind of infer some stuff and like go. You'll eventually stumble across it,
Hmm.
which I think is more uh, more exciting that way.
It's more rewarding for sure.
Yeah, because it's like you feel like you did something. It's like, hey, somebody told me how to get somewhere. I followed the clues on how to get there. I fought some enemies along the way, may have leveled up. Stuff
It's
like
so weird
that.
that they regressed in that way. Like
Because
I know that.
yeah, because people's like attention spans are too short anymore. Like, I mean, there's still an audience for something like that, but like for the masses, it's like they
Hmm.
want to be told where to go because they're like, oh, I only have like 2 hours because my kid's screaming, I can't, like, I just got off of work at 5 and I could maybe do like 45 minutes. you know,
I've
uh,
always found the opening of Skyrim to be kind of indicative of that because it's like I do remember like the opening of Morrowind. It's just you're on a boat and then you fucking get off the boat and then you go and explore the world.
Yeah,
In
yeah,
Oblivion, you're in a cave and or in a prison and then you go through some sewers and now you're out in the world. And
yeah,
then in Skyrim, it's like this super like choreographed, scene where, the guy tells you like, "Oh, good, you're awake." And you have to wait fucking 20 minutes to like watch a guy get decapitated and then the dragon comes and there's something iconic about that.
yeah,
But it does kind of, show like where the series was heading,
yeah,
in terms of losing kind of that more, simple and open-ended, approach that can make, exploration just all the more rewarding and make
yeah.
you feel like you're discovering something. And like you said, not being on like a Disney World ride.
Right. Like I loved Oblivion for a lot of reasons. The voice acting. I mean, it wasn't the best on a lot of them because for a lot of the characters because I think they like had like 5 or 6 voice actors for the whole game.
Yeah, it was
Wow.
bad.
Yeah.
Sounds
Wow.
about
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
it was very.
Yeah, for all NPCs and main characters. So,
Oh my goodness. Those poor
I mean,
voice
yeah,
actors.
like outside of like Patrick Stewart for the
And Sean Bean.
yeah, outside of them, it was like there was like maybe like 5 or 6 people that did all the other voice lines. It was insane.
They were like one of the QA testers' aunts just
Yeah.
coming down to the studio. There's the one in Oblivion where like the lady reads her line and then she's like, "Oh wait, let me do that again." And then she reads the line again. And if you let it play long enough, you hear her say that. Like they kept that in.
Really?
Like her saying, yeah. You can look that up.
No.
I swear to God, look it up. It's so
Okay.
fun.
That's shoddy editing right there.
Yeah, they may have patched it out since, but
Right.
but maybe they didn't because compared to Skyrim, Oblivion's gotten like 0 love from Bethesda in terms of
Yeah.
it's basically the GTA 4 of the Elder Scrolls series because
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
it's on
they're-
PC, so I mean, they don't really feel the need to, put it on console.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
a game. It's such an old game now that any computer can really run it. Like
that's true.
Grand Theft Auto 4 is probably the same way.
Mhm.
I think without
Uh,
mods though, you have to play it with mouse and keyboard controls on PC. 'Cause I remember when I tried it, it wouldn't let me play
Yeah.
natively with a controller, which was kind of annoying.
I think you do, yeah, because I have it on Steam, and I
Let
think
me
I played
check.
like
I
10
have Steam
minutes
pulled
of
up
it.
Here. Some-
Um,
I have a. Let me see.
yeah.
Keep going.
Is it under Elder Scrolls or it doesn't matter. But the that sucks. Yeah, you mentioned about Oblivion not getting any love because I like Skyrim, but man, Oblivion just it's got a really fun special quality to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With those imperfections, that are in
Yeah,
there.
and
It's
I,
like
I feel like people were like more forgiving of it because it was kind of like new at the time. It's like, oh, this is between Morrowind and Oblivion, it was like a night and day difference, and like for like the systems that they were using.
Yeah.
oh,
yeah,
for sure.
with like the real time combat. Morrowind's spells were extremely broken. They kind of like toned that down just like a little bit with Oblivion. The story for Oblivion was a lot more approachable, I feel, for a lot more people versus Morrowind. Morrowind's story, it was there if you wanted it to be, but you didn't have to participate in it if you didn't want to. Like half the fun for me was like I can do anything.
Yeah.
like I can literally go into any single, if I see a door I could open it. Like it might be locked, it might be trapped. There's ways around that. I can go explore the island. I can unlock uncover the fog of war style map that they had. So everything was basically grayed out until you like walked into it and then you like uncovered it that way.
Yeah.
So it's like you
yes,
didn't really know where you
Morrowind
were
and Oblivion
going.
do not
And
have
I
controller support. Sorry.
yeah. I mean, there's probably like not native, but there's probably like a way to
There are mods that
like
you can
mimic.
add.
Yeah. Yeah, that you can mimic like keyboard inputs first over controller. But yeah, I just remember spending like many hours going around, like just exploring, and like I didn't feel pressured into participating in the story if I didn't want to. And I feel like a lot of games since then, it was more so like here's like you are like the main person, like oh my god, like you need to go do this right now. And like Morrowind, it was like yeah, like there was a prophecy, like your situation happened to like line up with that. You know, you're the Nerevarine, you're going to like unite the tribes, but like
Yeah.
you don't necessarily need to do that. Like you can just go off and like explore like a Daedric dungeon if you wanted to. Like
Yeah.
or you can like
Which
kill a
feel
doc-
more like you're like part of the world rather than like the
Yeah.
world was revolving around you.
Yeah, it's like it's like the fate of the world wasn't necessarily like on your shoulders. Not until like once you like get into like the actual story of Morrowind, and like you unlock it more, because like the first couple quests that you actually do in Morrowind, it's very like, hey, yeah, go clear out this mine, go talk to this person. Hey, there's like some ramblings of like, you know, like a tribe up to the north. Like you may want to check on that. Like it's very like you're just a dude, you know. You're just a dude in the world, and I feel like a lot of games put like Skyrim is like the antithesis of like Bethesda game design, where it's just like you are the chosen one. Like, oh my god, you just killed a dragon. Oh my god.
No one's ever killed a dragon before.
Like you absorbed its soul. You are like, basically Superman. And
oh my god.
Yeah, it's like I would really like to see. Oh my god, drag cigarette.
Randy
It
Marsh.
almost sounds like the way you're describing it does like sound like kind of like the way that like Baldur's Gate is, and the way that
I was gonna mention that,
you know, and the way the Elden Ring is, like you mentioned that too.
Yeah,
and it's funny too, because obviously Morrowind was way before, you know, either of those games, and those games obviously showed that like sort of a lack of direction can still lead to, you know, critical success, commercial success.
Yeah.
And so, and with especially with Starfield, I mean, it didn't sell poorly, but obviously no one fucking likes it. You know, maybe they are going to now take that to heart and maybe go back to maybe not quite the same as the Morrowind approach. You know, maybe your sword swings will still fucking hit a goblin when you're swinging at it.
Yeah.
But you know, but still giving you that more that freedom, feeling more like you're just a passenger along for the in this world, you know.
Yeah, I feel like Starfield's approach was it's too big. It's just too big. So with Elder Scrolls 6, reground it on a single continent. Obviously, you want to make the continent bigger because you know you have the horsepower to do it now. Vardenfell's map is actually extremely small, but it feels big because there's fog all around you basically.
It's kind of dense too, right?
Yeah, to like obscure your vision. So if you have a PC that that could handle the game well enough, you could actually turn the fog off and you could actually see how small the map actually is.
Like with San Andreas, when they turned the fog off for the for the re-release.
Yeah.
You could see the whole goddamn map when you were like on a mountain or something.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like, oh damn. But I think like a lot of the mystique about the game was like you couldn't see everything. You know, it's like everything was like isolated within like the the few hundred or so feet that's in front of you. You know, it's like I kind of hope that they kind of go back to the roots of Morrowind a little bit. I would really like them to not be as hand-holdy with Elder Scrolls 6. I'd like them to take a page out of Elden Ring, and it's like use the context, like force people to use their brains. Like we have brains, we need to use them. They're very,
and that shows that
they're very much atrophied. Visual storytelling, show don't tell. You know. If it says, "Hey, follow the river to the south," make it, mean something. Like when you're going down. Don't just be like, "Hey, here's a spell to like show you the way," and like literally like you cast it and it like draws like an ethereal line across the across the world to like to go to the door that you had to go into. Like I don't know. It's just I want to feel that like that magic again of being part of the world and like the story's there, but maybe I just want to go be a chicken farmer, like for like a few hours, like maybe I'll get to it.
The way you described it, that's what I want to.
Yeah.
That's what I hope the Elder Scrolls 6 is.
Yeah.
You want to farm chickens?
Yeah, I think like if this.
Exactly.
Like farm chickens, or like hey,
be a horse mechanic.
Yeah, or like tend to the horses and like live in that world. I don't know.
Sounds like a real RPG element that you want to it.
yeah, like because I mean that's what like Morrowind was to me. It was just like I was part of the world, and like like there was so much to the world that like it was there. But if I just wanted to be like a sneak thief and like go crack open a door at night and like raid a merchant's house and like steal the glass armor, I could do that.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
And with that, Bethesda, listen to what the fuck Joe is saying. He knows what he's talking about. He liked you guys before you were cool. Listen to your real fans. Because it sounds like this is a way more fun game than fucking Starfield.
Yeah.
For real.
I actually almost want to just open up Morrowind and play it right now.
I want to play it right now, just the way you're describing it. I'm
I'm
going to turn the difficulty down so I'm not as mad about my swordsman's missing.
Yeah.
And really quick, hey Blake, did you update the whiteboard?
I took it down. Well, it actually fell down. But it's right here, actually.
Well, you got to update it.
Oh wait, I erased it because it got all smudged. But yeah, I'll update it though.
Yeah.
I'll update it.
Nice.
For those that don't know, we have a whiteboard that counts down the days since Joe Delaney last insulted, bashed, or talked shit about Starfield.
Yeah.
I swear this will be the last time for a while because I got a lot out of my system this time. It was very cathartic. Feeling very good about it.
Yeah, I think the emoji that just showed up explains it.
I did. I saw it too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But
you guys have any last thoughts? Oh, gotcha.
But yeah, there were like other games, like there's Daggerfall I never played, and I never got around to playing Arena. But apparently like Daggerfall was like way ahead of its time, and they kind of like toned it. I actually that's a good comparison. Starfield, I feel like pulls more so from Daggerfall, and where Daggerfall had they had like main settlements, right? But like the map of Daggerfall was like, I think it was like the entire continent.
Jesus.
You can
And-
still play Morrowind on Steam.
Yep,
Mhm.
yep. I have
I
it.
think they're all on Steam.
I might try
Yeah.
it if I can mod it so I can play with a controller.
You can, at
Yeah.
least with Morrowind, there is a way to do that.
Oh, of course. Yeah, that's definitely a way. But Daggerfall was like so ahead of its time that they used procedural generation to make up the difference between like the major settlements.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the dungeons were actually like I believe they were procedurally generated as well to some extent. So like some dungeons that you would go into, you actually couldn't complete because of how it like procedurally generated. So but you didn't know that until you got to kind of like the end, and then you had backtrack all the way out.
So really quick, it looks like both Elder Scrolls Arena and Daggerfall are free on Steam because I just added both of them to my library.
I'm getting them right now. I'm gonna try them out.
Yeah, let us know next time what you feel about it if you actually do play them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it'll be fantastic. It'll give me something to do inside when I'm not playing Pal World. So speaking of, we should all play Pal World sometime.
I'd be down. I
Yeah.
got Game Pass, so I can play it.
Cool.
It's not cross-platform compatible.
Motherfucker.
Yeah,
You play on PC, right?
Yeah, I have for Steam.
It's not cross-compatible with
No,
Game
it's
Pass?
not. Nope. They're
What the
separate.
fuck?
I know it's separate.
I mean, it is early access. That could be something they add down the line, but
I
Ain't
know.
that just like Nintendo? Fucking Nintendo.
Fucking Nintendo.
Well, anyway, I gotta get going, boys.
All right, guys.
Yeah, same.
But
well, thank you everyone for watching.
Yeah.
If you stuck with us
Yeah,
this
if you made it
far,
this far.
be sure to like and subscribe, and ring the bell if you'd like to receive notifications.
leave a comment.
Please.
Please do.
Tell us that
Love
Starfield's
comment.
actually really fun, and I'm playing it wrong, and I should create a new character. Let me
Yeah.
know, Todd. Hit me up. We should hang out sometime. I like your shoes.
Yeah.
Let's grab a coffee.
And I like his
You have
jacket.
nice.
Love
you have a
that
nice-
jacket.
You have nice tastes in watches.
God.
Oh my god.
Uh,
All right, guys. Well,
All right.
thanks for getting together again. I love you all.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
we'll see you next time.
love you, bros.
See y'all later. Bye bye.
Bye.